Exodus 35. And Moses assembled all the congregation of the children of Israel and said to them, These are the words which the Lord has commanded, that you should do them. 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day there shall be to you a holy day, a Sabbath of solemn rest to the Lord. Whosoever does any work in it shall be put to death. You shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day. And Moses spoke to all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, This is the thing which the Lord commanded, saying, Take you from among you an offering to the Lord. Whosoever is of a willing heart, let him bring it, the Lord's offering, gold and silver and brass and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen and goat's hair and ram skins dyed red and seal skins and acacia wood and oil for the light and spices for the anointing oil and for the sweet incense and for onyx stones and stones to be set for the ephod and for the breastplate. And let every wise-hearted man among you come and make all the Lord has commanded. The tabernacle, its tent, and its covering, its clasps, and its boards, its bars, its pillars, and its sockets, the ark and the poles of it, the mercy seat and the veil of the screen, the table and its poles, and all its vessels, and the showbread, the menorah also for the light, and its vessels, and its lamps, and the oil for the light, and the altar of incense, and its poles, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the screen for the door at the door of the tabernacle, the altar of burnt offering with its grating of brass, its poles, and all its vessels, the laver and its base, the hangings of the court, the pillars of it, and their sockets, and the screen for the gate of the court, the pins of the tabernacle, and the pins of the court, and their cords, the finely wrought garments for ministering in the holy place, the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments of his sons to minister in the priest's office. And all the congregation of the children of Israel departed from the presence of Moses. And they came, every one whose heart stirred him, and every one whom his spirit made willing, and brought the Lord's offering for the work of the tent of meeting, and for all the service of it, and for the holy garments. And they came both men and women, as many as were willing-hearted, and brought brooches, and earrings, and signet rings, and armlets, all jewels of gold, even every man that offered an offering of gold to the Lord. And every man with whom was found blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine linen, and goat's hair, and ram skins dyed red, and seal skins brought them. Every one that did offer an offering of silver and brass brought the Lord's offering, and every man with whom was found acacia wood for any work of the service brought it. And all the women that were wise-hearted did spin with their hands, and brought that which they had spun, the blue and the purple, the scarlet and the fine linen. And all the women whose hearts stirred them up in wisdom spun the goat's hair. And the rulers brought the onyx stones and the stones to be set for the ephod and for the breastplate, and the spice and the oil for the light, and for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense. The children of Israel brought a freewill offering to the Lord, every man and woman whose heart made them willing to bring for all the work which the Lord had commanded to be made by Moses. And Moses said to the children of Israel, See, the Lord has called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and he has filled him with the Spirit of God, in wisdom, in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, and to devise skillful works, to work in gold, and in silver, and in brass, and in cutting of stones for setting, and in carving of wood, to work in all manner of skillful workmanship. And he has put in his heart that he may teach, both he and Oholiab, the son of Ahisamach of the tribe of Dan. Them has he filled with wisdom of heart, to work all manner of workmanship, of the engraver, and of the skillful workman, and of the embroiderer, in blue and in purple, in scarlet and in fine linen, and of the weaver, even of them that do any workmanship, and of those that devise skillful works. Exodus 36. And Bezalel and Oholiab shall work, and every wise-hearted man in whom the Lord has put wisdom and understanding to know how to work all the work for the service of the sanctuary, according to all that the Lord has commanded. And Moses called Bezalel and Oholiab, and every wise-hearted man in whose heart the Lord had put wisdom, even everyone whose heart stirred him up to come to the work to do it. And they received of Moses all the offering which the children of Israel had brought for the work of the service of the sanctuary, wherewith to make it. And they brought yet to him freewill offerings every morning. And all the wise men that wrought all the work of the sanctuary came every man from his work which they wrought. And they spoke to Moses, saying, The people bring much more than enough for the service of the work which the Lord commanded to make. And Moses gave commandment, and they caused it to be proclaimed throughout the camp, saying, Let neither man nor woman work for the offering of the sanctuary. So the people were restrained from bringing. For the stuff they had was sufficient for all the work to make it, and too much. And all the wise-hearted men among them that wrought the work made the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine twined linen, and blue and purple and scarlet, with cherubim, the work of skillful workmen. Bezalel made them. The length of each curtain was 28 cubits, and the breadth of each curtain 4 cubits, and the curtains had one measure. And he coupled 5 curtains one to another, and the other 5 curtains he coupled one to another. And he made loops of blue upon the edge of the one curtain, from the selvedge in the coupling. Likewise he made in the edge of the curtain that was outmost in the second coupling. 50 loops made he in the one curtain, and 50 loops made he in the edge of the curtain that was in the second coupling. The loops were opposite one to another. And he made 50 clasps of gold, and coupled the curtains one to another with the clasps. So the tabernacle was one. And he made curtains of goat's hair for a tent over the tabernacle. 11 curtains he made them. The length of each curtain was 30 cubits, and 4 cubits the breadth of each curtain. The 11 curtains had one measure, and he coupled 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves. And he made 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that was outmost in the coupling, and 50 loops made he upon the edge of the curtain which was outmost in the second coupling. And he made 50 clasps of brass to couple the tent together, that it might be one. And he made a covering for the tent of ram skins dyed red, and a covering of seal skins above. And he made the boards for the tabernacle of acacia wood standing up. 10 cubits was the length of a board, and 1.5 cubits the breadth of each board. Each board had 2 tenons, joined one to another. Thus did he make for all the boards of the tabernacle. And he made the boards for the tabernacle, 20 boards for the south side, southward. And he made 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under one board for its 2 tenons, and 2 sockets under another board for its 2 tenons. And for the second side of the tabernacle, on the north side, he made 20 boards, and their 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. And for the hinder part of the tabernacle westward, he made 6 boards. And 2 boards made he for the corners of the tabernacle in the hinder part, and they were double beneath. They were entire to the top of it to one ring. Thus he did to both of them in the 2 corners. And there were 8 boards, and their sockets of silver, 16 sockets under every board, 2 sockets. And he made bars of acacia wood, 5 for the boards of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the tabernacle for the hinder part westward. And he made the middle bar to pass through in the midst of the boards from the one end to the other. And he overlaid the boards with gold, and made their rings of gold for places for the bars, and overlaid the bars with gold. And he made the veil of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen with cherubim. The work of the skillful workman made he it. And he made to it 4 pillars of acacia and overlaid them with gold. Their hooks were of gold, and he cast for them 4 sockets of silver. And he made a screen for the door of the tent of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, the work of the embroiderer, and the 5 pillars of it with their hooks, and he overlaid their capitals and their fillets with gold, and their 5 sockets were of brass. Exodus 37. And Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood. 2 cubits and a half was the length of it, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth of it, and 1 cubit and a half the height of it. And he overlaid it with pure gold within and without, and made a crown of gold to it round about. And he cast for it 4 rings of gold in the 4 feet of it, even 2 rings on the one side of it, and 2 rings on the other side of it. And he made poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. And he put the poles into the rings on the sides of the ark to bear the ark. And he made a mercy seat of pure gold. 2 cubits and a half was the length of it, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth of it. And he made 2 cherubim of gold, of beaten work made he them, at the 2 ends of the mercy seat, 1 cherub at the one end, and 1 cherub at the other end. Of one piece with the mercy seat made he the cherubim at the 2 ends of it. And the cherubim spread out their wings on high, covering the mercy seat with their wings, with their faces one to another. Toward the mercy seat were the faces of the cherubim. And he made the table of acacia wood. 2 cubits was the length of it, and 1 cubit the breadth of it, and 1 cubit and a half the height of it. And he overlaid it with pure gold, and made to it a crown of gold round about. And he made to it a border of a handbreadth round about, and made a golden crown to the border of it round about. And he cast for it 4 rings of gold, and he put the rings in the 4 corners that were in the 4 feet of it. Close by the border were the rings, the places for the poles to bear the table. And he made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold to bear the table. And he made the vessels which were upon the table, the dishes of it, and the spoons of it, and the bowls of it, and the flagons of it, wherewith to pour out of pure gold. And he made the candlestick of pure gold, of beaten work made he the candlestick, even its base, and its shaft, and its cups, its knops, and its flowers were of one piece with it. And there were 6 branches going out of the sides of it, 3 branches of the candlestick out of the one side of it, and 3 branches of the candlestick out of the other side of it, 3 cups made like almond blossoms. In one branch, a knop and a flower, and 3 cups made like almond blossoms in the other branch, a knop and a flower. So for the 6 branches going out of the candlestick. And in the candlestick were 4 cups made like almond blossoms, the knops of it and the flowers of it, and a knop under 2 branches of one piece with it, and a knop under 2 branches of one piece with it, and a knop under 2 branches of one piece with it, for the 6 branches going out of it. Their knops and their branches were of one piece with it. The whole of it was one beaten work of pure gold. And he made the lamps of it 7, and the snuffers of it, and the snuff dishes of it, of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold made he it, and all the vessels of it. And he made the altar of incense of acacia wood. 1 cubit was the length of it, and 1 cubit the breadth of it. 4 square and 2 cubits was the height of it. The horns of it were of one piece with it. And he overlaid it with pure gold, the top of it and the sides of it round about, and the horns of it, and he made to it a crown of gold round about. And he made for it 2 golden rings under the crown of it, upon the 2 ribs of it, upon the 2 sides of it, for places for poles wherewith to bear it. And he made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. And he made the holy anointing oil and pure incense of sweet spices after the art of the perfumer. Exodus 38. And he made the altar of burnt offering of acacia wood. 5 cubits was the length of it, and 5 cubits the breadth of it, 4 square and 3 cubits the height of it. And he made the horns of it upon the 4 corners of it. The horns of it were of one piece with it, and he overlaid it with brass. And he made all the vessels of the altar, the pots and the shovels and the basins and the flesh hooks and the fire pans, and the vessels of it made he of brass. And he made for the altar a grating of network of brass, under the ledge, round it beneath, reaching halfway up. And he cast 4 rings for the 4 ends of the grating of brass, to be places for the poles. And he made the poles of acacia wood, and overlaid them with brass. And he put the poles into the rings on the sides of the altar, wherewith to bear it. He made it hollow with planks. And he made the lever of brass, and the base of it of brass, and the mirrors of the ministering women that ministered at the door of the tent of meeting. And he made the court for the south side southward. The hangings of the court were of fine twined linen, 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their sockets 20, of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver. And for the north side 100 cubits, their pillars 20, and their sockets 20, of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the west side were hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the east side eastward 50 cubits, the hangings for the one side of the gate were 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And so for the other side, on this hand and that hand by the gate of the court, were hangings of 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. All the hangings of the court round about were of fine twined linen, and the sockets for the pillars were of brass, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver, and the overlaying of silver capitals of silver. And all the pillars of the court were filleted with silver. And the screen for the gate of the court was the work of the embroiderer, of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen. And 20 cubits was the length, and the height and the breadth was 5 cubits, answerable to the hangings of the court. And their pillars were 4, and their sockets 4, of brass, their hooks of silver, and the overlaying of their capitals, and their fillets of silver. And all the pins of the tabernacle and of the court round about were of brass. This is the sum of the things for the tabernacle, even the tabernacle of the testimony, as they were counted, according to the commandment of Moses, for the service of the Levites, by the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest, and Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made all that the Lord had commanded Moses. And with him was Oholiab, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, an engraver, and a skillful workman, and an embroiderer in blue and in purple and in scarlet and in fine linen. All the gold that was used for the work and all the work of the sanctuary, even the gold of the offering, was 29 talents, and 730 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. And the silver of them that were numbered of the congregation was 100 talents, and 1,760 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. A bekah, a head, that is, half a shekel, after the shekel of the sanctuary, for everyone that passed over to them that were numbered from 20 years old and upward, for 600,000 and 3,550 men. And the 100 talents of silver were for casting the sockets of the sanctuary, and the sockets of the veil, 100 sockets for the 100 talents, a talent for a socket. And the 1,775 shekels he made hooks for the pillars, and overlaid their capitals, and made fillets for them. And the brass of the offering was 70 talents, and 2,400 shekels, And therewith he made the sockets to the door of the tent of meeting, and the brazen altar, and the brazen grating for it, and all the vessels of the altar, and the sockets of the court round about, and the sockets of the gate of the court, and all the pins of the tabernacle, and all the pins of the court round about. Exodus 39. And of the blue and purple and scarlet they made finely wrought garments for ministering in the holy place, and made the holy garments for Aaron, as the Lord had commanded Moses. And he made the ephod of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. And they did beat the gold into thin plates, and cut it into wires to work it into the blue, and in the purple, and in the scarlet, and in the fine linen, the work of the skillful workmen. They made shoulder pieces for it joined together. At the two ends was it joined together. And the skillfully woven band that was upon it, wherewith to gird it on, was of the same piece, and like the work of it, of gold, of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they wrought the onyx stones enclosed in settings of gold, graven with the engravings of a signet according to the names of the children of Israel. And he put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod, to be stones of memorial for the children of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the breastplate, the work of the skillful workmen, like the work of the ephod of gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen. It was foursquare. They made the breastplate double. A span was the length of it, and the span the breadth of it, being double. And they set in it 4 rows of stones. A row of sardius, topaz, and carbuncle was the first row, and the second row an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond, and the third row a jacinth, an agate, and an amethyst, and the fourth row a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They were enclosed in enclosings of gold in their settings, and their stones were according to the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engravings of a signet, every one according to his name for the 12 tribes. And they made upon the breastplate chains like cords of twisted work of pure gold. And they made 2 settings of gold and 2 gold rings, and put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. And they put the 2 twisted chains of gold in the 2 rings at the end of the breastplate. And the other 2 ends of the 2 twisted chains they put on the 2 settings, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod, in the fore part of it. And they made the 2 rings of gold, and put them upon the 2 ends of the breastplate, upon the edge of it, which was toward the side of the ephod, inward. And they made 2 rings of gold, and put them on the 2 shoulder pieces of the ephod underneath, in the fore part of it, close by the coupling of it, above the skillfully woven band of the ephod. And they did bind the breastplate by the rings of it to the rings of the ephod, with a lace of blue, that it might be upon the skillfully woven band of the ephod, and that the breastplate might not be loosed from the ephod, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the robe of the ephod of woven work, of all blue, and the whole of the robe in the midst of it as the whole of a coat of mail, with a binding round about the whole of it, that it should not be rent. And they made upon the skirts of the robe pomegranates of blue and purple and scarlet and twined linen. And they made bells of pure gold, and put the bells between the pomegranates upon the skirt of the robe, round about between the pomegranates. A bell and a pomegranate, a bell and a pomegranate, upon the skirts of the robe round about, to minister in, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they made coats of fine linen of woven work for Aaron and for his sons, and the turban of fine linen, and the goodly head tires of fine linen, and the linen undergarments of fine twined linen, and the girdle of fine twined linen and blue and purple and scarlet, the work of the embroiderer, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they made the plate of the holy crown of pure gold, and wrote upon it a writing like the engravings of a signet, Holy to the Lord. And they tied to it a lace of blue to fasten it upon the turban above, as the Lord commanded Moses. Thus was finished all the work of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting, and the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so did they. And they brought the tabernacle to Moses, the tent and all its furniture, its clasps, its boards, its bars, and its pillars and its sockets, and the covering of ram skins dyed red, and the covering of seal skins, and the veil of the screen, the ark of the testimony, and the poles of it, and the mercy seat, the table, all the vessels of it, and the showbread, the pure menorah, the lamps of it, even the lamps to be set in order, and all the vessels of it, and the oil for the light, and the golden altar, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the screen for the door of the tent, the brazen altar, and its grating of brass, its poles, and all its vessels, the laver and its base, the hangings of the court, its pillars and its sockets, and the screen for the gate of the court, the cords of it, and the pins of it, and all the instruments of the service of the tabernacle for the tent of meeting, the finely wrought garments for ministering in the holy place, and the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments of his sons to minister in the priest's office according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So the children of Israel did all the work. And Moses saw all the work, and behold, they had done it as the Lord had commanded. Even so had they done it, and Moses blessed them. Exodus 40. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, On the first day of the first month will you rear up the tabernacle of the tent of meeting, and you will put in the ark of the testimony, and you will screen the ark with the veil. And you will bring in the table and set in order the things that are upon it, and you will bring in the menorah and light the lamps of it. And you will set the golden altar for incense before the ark of the testimony, and put the screen of the door to the tabernacle. And you will set the altar of burnt offering before the door of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting. And you will set the laver between the tent of meeting and the altar, and will put water in it. And you will set up the court round about, and hang up the screen of the gate of the court. And you will take the anointing oil, and anoint the tabernacle, and all that is in it, and will hallow it, and all the furniture of it, and it shall be holy. And you will anoint the altar of the burnt offering, and all its vessels, and sanctify the altar, and the altar shall be most holy. And you will anoint the laver and its base, and sanctify it. And you will bring Aaron and his sons to the door of the tent of meeting, and will wash them with water. And you will put upon Aaron the holy garments, and you will anoint him and sanctify him, that he may minister to me in the priest's office. And you will bring his sons and put coats upon them, and you will anoint them as you did anoint their father, that they may minister to me in the priest's office. And their anointing shall be to them an everlasting priesthood throughout their generations. Thus did Moses, according to all the Lord commanded him, so did he. And it came to pass in the first month, in the second year, on the first day of the month, that the tabernacle was reared up. And Moses reared up the tabernacle, and laid its sockets, and set up the boards of it, and put in the bars of it, and reared up its pillars. And he spread the tent over the tabernacle, and put the covering of the tent above upon it, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he took and put the testimony into the ark, and set the poles on the ark, and put the mercy seat above upon the ark. And he brought the ark into the tabernacle, and set up the veil of the screen, and screened the ark of the testimony, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he put the table in the tent of meeting upon the side of the tabernacle northward, without the veil. And he set the bread in order upon it before the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he put the menorah in the tent of meeting over against the table on the side of the tabernacle southward, and he lit the lamps before the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he put the golden altar in the tent of meeting before the veil, and he burnt on it incense of sweet spices, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he put the screen of the door to the tabernacle, and he set the altar of burnt offering at the door of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting, and offered upon it the burnt offering and the meal offering, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he set the laver between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water in it wherewith to wash. And Moses and Aaron and his sons washed their hands and their feet there. And they went into the tent of meeting, and when they came near to the altar, they washed, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he reared up the court round about the tabernacle and the altar, and set up the screen of the gate of the court. So Moses finished the work. Then the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. And Moses was not able to enter into the tent of meeting, because the cloud abode in it, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. And when the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the children of Israel went onward throughout all their journeys. But if the cloud was not taken up, then they journeyed not till the day that it was taken up. For the cloud of the Lord was upon the tabernacle by day, and there was fire in it by night, in the sight of all the house of Israel throughout all their journeys. This completes Parashat Vayak'hel-Pekudei.